bear with something. Yeah. Okay. Endure through something, persevere through something. Okay, so let's do our Siddhartha discussion, chapter 4 through 6. The last part that we were supposed to read was pretty shocking, so everybody was like, can we actually read this kind of stuff? Isn't this too provocative? And this part was actually pretty enlightening and then pretty inspiring, I think. And how are thinking, waiting, and fasting related to achieving one's goals? Okay, so let us hear from each one of you. Oh, yeah. So we're gonna take turns, and everybody has to speak. So you're and then Minso, and then Taeyeon, Sumin, Sojinji, Min, Jukyung. Yeah, we're going to take a turn. So Yura, so everybody has to prepare his or her speech. All right, so Yura, what did you think about this question?
So if you first think that you can like find a solution or a guideline in order to achieve your dreams, so you can achieve your goal by following that guideline. And if you wait, you can get patience. So even though like if your progress is slow, by waiting, it means you like not drop out too fast before like it has like no possibility. And then if you fast, then like you know you can get to know how to like bear your animal instincts, so then you can get like one step forward into becoming a human, and then achieving your goals.
Oh, okay. So while thinking deeply, you can come up with a solution, a creative solution for your problem. And then if you have the patience, then you can always achieve your goal because failures happen to those people who are very impatient. And if you are fasting, you become hungrier, and then you can take advantage of your animal instinct. You become hungrier, and then sort of become more aggressive towards your goals. That was very nice. Okay. Binso, what did you think about this question?
I focus on the subject of fasting. Fasting can mean restraints, and if you don't eat anything, you'll be hungry. And if, in my point of view, if I'm hungry, I became more mean and more aggressive. I want to eat everything I see, like even the papers in front of me. So, and in his quote, Siddhartha's quote, he's a human too, so he'll be hungry if he don't eat anything. But by fasting, he can restrain his animal instinct and restrain his desires. So that could make him more controlled in his way, and that could achieve his goals.
Oh, okay. So the only difference between the animals and then the humans is that animals follow their instincts, and then humans, we have the logics, and then we have the senses to control our desires for greater good and the greater purposes. And by fasting, we can control our physical. We can learn to control our physical desires, and this is a form of self-mastery. So that's why it helps us achieve our goals. Okay. So, Tayoni, what did you think about this question?
I didn't have time to prepare for the whole discussion.
Oh, you couldn't write it? Oh,
Just
okay.
say it.
Oh,
Or I think
yeah, say what you think, Taeyeon.
I don't have a lot of things to say, but when I first saw this topic right now, like 3 minutes ago, I just saw the keyword wait, and to achieve something, I think patience and waiting for something is very important. Like for example, if I want to achieve some goal, it doesn't get it doesn't come in true life unless you wait for it and unless you try something and make mistakes about it. So I think waiting is very important.
Oh yeah, so you guys, most of you went through your finals recently, and then studying for finals was very exhausting and grueling, right? You had to study a lot, many, many hours every day. But then when the finals ended, when you got rewarded by higher scores, you felt great excitement and you felt great exhilaration, right? So the process is all about waiting and being patient for the greater reward. Okay. Sumi, what did you think about this one?
My technique is very important because before you do anything teacher said like studying,
Uh-huh.
you need to like okay,
Planning? Yeah.
plan for your studies,
Uh-huh.
think how you're going to achieve your goal.
Uh-huh.
So you need to think and decide and plan.
Oh yeah, if you just like start taking an action without a concrete plan, without like a solid plan, it's likely that you're going to make some errors, trials and errors. So it's very important to have the thoughts in advance before taking an action. Okay. Sojin, what did you think about this question?
Most fundamentally, first of all, I think thinking is a most important part because it, based on your experiences and logical process, you get to plan and expect what is going to happen next through your like process of achieving one's goal. So thinking is most fundamental and well, yeah, it is most fundamental out of all three. And waiting waiting is needed because you to achieve one's goal they have to wait for the right timing that they will execute the plans they have made during like working and fasting. By fasting I think Siddhartha rather meant perseverance than fasting itself because he and that is needed in achieving one's goal because through like one has to go through like some what should call problems that you'll have to face during all the trials and all the process of going to one's goal. So one has to like persevere their pain and like whether it's
So
like spiritual one.
yeah, so from the first thread of thought, your thinking is based on your past experiences, all of the logics and all of the knowledge that you have gained throughout your life. And then if you think based on all of these factors, you can make a prediction about the future. And then that way you can avoid any kind of dangers and risks, right? And waiting for the right time, because like being successful doesn't just depend on hard work. Sometimes a lot of luck is involved. Right timing has to be involved for you to deliver successful results. So if you are patient, you can encounter the luck and encounter the right situations. Yeah. And you said that fasting is more about patience and then perseverance, and only people who have went through the trials and then challenges, they can appreciate the sweetness of success, right? So that made a lot of sense. Okay, so Jiminy, what did you think about this question?
Whereas thinking makes people's inner side deeper. That's because when people think, they mostly think about themselves and their lives and their values. And it can also make people very calm. So I think thinking can take people closer to their utopia more than just rushing toward what they just want now. And fasting makes people think even for the smallest thing. So people can find joy in their daily lives. So it makes people very modest.
Oh.
who was raising racist people's ability to control their instincts. I think it was very important to let people want to touch their things.
Oh, okay. So if you think a lot, your inner life is going to be deepened and your inner life is going to be enriched further. You're going to more firmly establish your beliefs and values. And with that firmly established values, you can make correct judgment. And then that way you can get closer to your true self, the self that you are supposed to be. And after fasting and controlling your desire, maybe like for 2 days and 3 days, oh yeah, I had that experience because recently I was hospitalized for 4 days at a hospital because of a stomach bug. We don't know the causes of it. And then I had to fast for 4 days in a row. And then I got connected to the IVs. And then 수액만 맞았어요, 4일 동안. 그랬는데 I watched all the mukbang in the entire world. I did 탕수육 mukbang, everything. After 4 days of fasting, the first spoon that I took, it was just white porridge. Do you guys know what a bium is? Yeah, just like simple porridge with no spices, no salt in it. It's just like simple porridge, but the first spoon that I put into my mouth, it felt like heaven. Yeah. So after controlling your desires, you can even appreciate the very small things in your life. Okay. Yeah. So last year and this year were one of the most challenging times in my life because I was always employed at another hagwon. But then I started this independent hagwon, like small hagwon myself, right? And at the beginning of 2023, I had Kim Yura and Jin Sejun as my first students, and then I had only 2 students in the beginning. I was very glad to meet them because they were one of the best students that I met in my life, but that was kind of disheartening in the beginning. And then it stayed similar to that for an entire year for 2023. So, and then I did three of these things. I thought a lot because previously I was employed at another hagwon, run by other 원장님. And then I didn't have my unique curriculums, I guess. And then all of the curriculums didn't really include reading books or novels. But after I started my hagwon, I wanted to like create a curriculum that involves a lot of intensive novel reading and a lot of reading diverse topics. And I had to think a lot, and while reading the classic books that I read with you, like Catcher in the Rye, Of Mice and Men, Separate Peas, and what else did we read together? Death of a Salesman, To Kill a Mockingbird, Man's Search for Meaning. While reading those books, I grew a lot. My thoughts grew a lot. So I had to think a lot during those moments. And then that sort of became a spiritual pillar in myself. And then those books gave me a lot of guidelines for my daily lives. So it made me very strong inside. So thinking a lot made me very strong and firm. And I had to wait a lot. I told you that the Hagwon stayed like that for like an entire year. And then I thought that at the end of year 2023, I thought that maybe I'm not really good of a teacher. I'm not really a good teacher. And then felt kind of depressed because it stayed like that for an entire year. No matter how much I tried, it just like stayed like that. That was like December, like 1 year from now. But the year changed in January. All of a sudden, the student number, all of a sudden in 1 month, it just doubled. I don't know what happened. Yeah, so I think the analogy of a miner would be like would be like proper to explain it. So I thought of myself as a diamond miner, and then I was drilling over and over and over, and then I was like 1 inch close to the diamond. I was about to I was very depressed at that moment, but then I thought that, I'm gonna drill just like one time further, and then that worked, and I got my diamond. Yeah, so I had to like wait a lot. Fasting, I mean, I didn't actually fast, but I had to control my desires as well, a lot, because before, when I was employed at other hubs, I got I got a large salary, right, every month. So I just like bought everything that I wanted. I bought all the foods that I wanted. I bought all the clothes that I wanted. And then like I didn't really like control my spending at all. But then since we started this Hagon, we have to pay the rent and then blah 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 and blah blah blah. And then like I was spending a lot, but then I was earning such little amount of money. And then so I had to like I couldn't really like eat out for menus that are more than banon. That was like the limitation that I had. And then I couldn't take pleasures. I couldn't take happiness from the material things, right? I mean, I was so used to taking joy, after a hard day of work. I felt rewarded when I like went online and then like went online shopping or like bought something and like treated myself with expensive hotel buffets, something like that. That's how I rewarded myself. But then since I had those constraints and restraints in my life, the only way I could reward myself was appreciating the things that I had. And then I started keeping a journal of thanks. And then I wrote 10 items every day that I felt very thankful. And then like and then I like first item. It was different every day. Oh, I'm really glad that I'm born in South Korea instead of North Korea. Or something like that. Oh, I'm really glad that I have air conditioning in summer. Oh, I'm really glad that I can have hot shower during the freezing winter day, something like that. And then I started like appreciating the small things in my life. So I'm really glad that I went through those years because even if in the future I might experience some obstacles and failures, right? But I gained this confidence that, oh, even if I am reduced to nothing, like in terms of materials, I felt like I earned the resilience, I earned the mental strength to always bounce back up. So I think I became stronger as a person by three of these things. That's how I just like felt connected to the Siddhartha's teaching. Yeah. Okay. Govinda turning into a woman. Hey, everybody, what did you think about this question? That was pretty shocking, right? So I'm gonna take volunteers for this question. We're not gonna go around for everybody. So who wants to volunteer? Oh, Yura and Min-sung. Oh, okay, Sojin. All right, Yura, what did you think about this one?
I think like he saw Govinda turn into a woman at his dream. So
Uh-huh.
I think this means like Siddhartha's like hidden desires.
Oh.
So like Siddhartha is a human, and
Uh-huh.
it's like everyone's like animal's instinct to follow to feel attracted to another gender.
Mm-hmm.
But like in order to become like a holy person, Siddhartha like hid his desires inside, and then I think the hidden desires like just popped up into his dream.
Oh, yeah. So like according to the law of the nature, we are attracted, whether to the opposite gender or some people to the same gender. I don't know. Yeah. So the hidden desire that remained, that was hidden inside him, it was awoken. Okay, that was nice. All right. Binso, what did you think about this question?
When I first read it, I felt cringe then. But after that, thought when Govina turned into a woman,
Uh-huh.
started drank the milk,
Mm-hmm.
came out of Govinda.
Uh-huh.
He described that taste like it was mixture of woman and man. And he described, and I think that symbolizes that the enlightenment, what he was looking for, was not by shutting himself off from the world, but embracing and
Mhm.
combining
Mhm.
the world
Mhm.
주위에 있는 그런
Mhm.
요소들을
Mhm.
다 한국말
어.
by combining it musically.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So this scene seemed very bizarre and strange and kind of shocking. When he described the taste of it, it was the taste of, what was it? Male. Come on. Oh, it tasted like woman and man, sun and forest, and animal and flower. Those are the natural elements that surround us. And then Minso just described to us to get the true enlightenment, we have to open ourselves up to all the possible experiences in the world rather than shutting ourselves from being exposed to many different things that the life can offer. Okay, yeah, that was very nice. All right, Sojini, what did you think about this question?
I think this might have been a representation of like changing his emotional dependence. Because before he left, like before Siddhartha left Govinda behind with Buddha, Govinda was his only best friend, and he was his emotional support and his partner and his like work friend. So Siddhartha was really depending to Govinda, and Govinda was really loyal to Siddhartha. So it was sort of like partner sort of relationship. And then when the Govinda left and Siddhartha came to town to seek for more of like materialistic pleasures and stuff, maybe he was attracted to woman as a replacement of Govinda to be his like partner that he can depend on emotionally. So maybe that represented the switch between like all the perseverance and like materialistic pleasures and
okay. So the women and men like being interconnected into one being could represent the dependence that they had on each other. But then, no, not that.
Not really. What I was trying to say was that like Siddhartha himself was dependent on Govinda, so maybe after he left, he decided like not decided like he felt attracted to like another gender mainly because Govinda like as a replacement of Govinda he wanted like emotional support and dependence.
Oh, okay. So when he started seeking for women like Kamala, he didn't necessarily do that because of, like the physical desire, but then the emotional void that he felt after departing, after separating himself from Govinda, right? He was filling that emotional void, right? Okay. Yeah, that was really nice. Okay, so previously Siddhartha was an ascetic. He was a samana. You mean, rejecting. Okay. So, Sumini, have you prepared your discussion paper? Oh, okay. Where is it? Yeah. Okay. Take a look at it and then prepare your discussion for the last question. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So Siddhartha was a samana, and samanas are the monks who practice self-denial and then suppressing all physical desires and restraining all of the, instincts, right? And he thought that way he was able to come to an enlightenment and ultimate realization. But from this moment on, he sort of switches direction, and I think the action of like drinking the milk from Govinda's breast, I think that represents that we should not separate like the physical desires and the spiritual desires, and we need to have the balance between the two. So the ascetics, the samanas, they try to come to a realization only by suppressing all of the desires and then shutting themselves up from the worldly pleasures and then just like locking themselves inside their own world, own spiritual inner world. but through these experiences that he he realizes that he needs to open up to all of the elements and all of the joys and pleasures and all kinds of experiences that the world offers to come to a true enlightenment. I think that action symbolized that. And so when he described the taste as it tasted like woman and man, sun and forest, and animal and flower. I think that represents the connectedness of all beings in the world. So I think that's the difference between Western philosophy and Eastern philosophy. So of course, Western philosophy is based on the Bible, right? And then in the beginning of the Bible, what does God create the first among all of the creatures? They create the humans first. No, no, it doesn't. Oh, humans are the last. Oh yeah, so they create the animals and then the humans, and then the God tells Adam and Eve that all of these are for you to enjoy. Yeah, and then when God created Eve, He took one rib out of Adam and created Eve. So I think that sort of like divides and then puts a hierarchy between like creatures. So if the nature is for the humans to enjoy, then there is a hierarchy between humans and all of the animals in nature. And then if Eve is created from Adam, one rib from the Adam, and that also creates a hierarchy between men and women, right? I'm not saying that that is bad because I'm Christian myself. So it divides. It makes a lot of divisions and hierarchies. But Eastern religion and Eastern philosophy is sort of different because it tells us that everything is connected, and it's just like one entire nature and one entire ecosystem. One mosquito, one man has the we have the same, importance as a human. Yeah. So I think this part, women and men, sun and forest, and animal and flower, I think that represents the interconnectedness of all beings in the world. That's the core of, Eastern philosophy. Yeah. Okay. So from this moment on, he tasted the sweet milk from Govinda's breast, and all of a sudden, he becomes what do you say it? Yeah, he becomes such a hedonist and seeks all the worldly pleasures possible in the world. Meets a woman and then like eat all of the good food, dresses himself in fine clothes, and then gambles. Right? How can a person change from a samana to that? Okay. Yeah, so that was a moment of his transformation. Yeah. Okay, everything comes back. So we're gonna take volunteers for you this question as well. Everything comes back. Who can volunteer? Yeah, Yura. And who else? Oh yeah, Vinsa. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, okay, 서진. Alright. 또 하다가 또 하고 싶으면 말하세요. 한 명 정도는 더 받을게요. Okay, Yura, what did you think about this question?
Well, I think that all of the things in the world is like in a cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he means all things like end equally. So even though you get something or you give something or all of the trades you do in life, in the end when you die, I think it means that you go to heaven at the same situation as you were when you were born. So I think that he means that on some day, like in life, you will like pay me back in like some way, not just as money but as other things.
Oh, okay. So it represents the life cycle, and sometimes we calculate a lot our benefits and our costs, our sacrifices, and all of the profits. But eventually, at the end of the day, when we are passing away, we cannot take any of the materials that we have piled up throughout lives. Yeah. So he didn't take any fare. He didn't take any money from Siddhartha, but then he said that, it doesn't matter. The goodwill that I provided you is going to eventually return to me. So that represents the cycle of goodwill that's circulating. Okay, yeah. Vinso, what did you think about this question?
I think that sadness means karma.
Uh-huh.
That everything comes back to you. slow or fast.
아 잠깐만. 왜 진지하게 안 하고 막 서로 웃고 왜 그렇게 해요? 이거 그 펼쳐가지고 읽으세요 두 분 다. 읽으세요. 알겠죠? 왜 서로 쳐다보고 웃고 그러면 안 되죠? 오케이. Alright, 민서.
But the karma doesn't always
Doesn't always work.
doesn't always work.
Uh-huh.
And I guess that's why everybody isn't kind. But knowing karma, everything comes back eventually. And even after you're dead, and we tend to believe that kind people are like evil, and but actually they're the smartest among us. For example, there was there is a friend that I have. I like that friend very much, and that friend, I'll call her A from now on. A was very good at giving out her treats, like bought from Pyeongchang, and she shared everything what she got. And I thought she was a hobo, and because I had eaten many her treats, and I thought she was being idiot by sharing it, but she had a boy she liked, and
Why are you guys? Yeah.
so that boy's friend was A's friend, and that A's friend had gotten the treats, and he told the boy that she was a good girl, and strangely, that boy's 이상형 was someone that gives out treats. Whenever I see both of them in a corridor from school, they're making kissy faces, and it's very crazy, but it's a happy ending. So I guess that's karma. Everything eventually comes back, whether it's good or bad.
Okay. Yeah. So her friend, Minsa's friend, she spread goodwill, not expecting any return. She was just a good girl who wanted to, share the stuff and then make other people happy and then make other people's day pleasant. She did not expect the good results, but by doing so, she created a good reputation. And that sort of got her a boyfriend. Yeah. So when we're spreading goodwill unintentionally, it can be brought back to us, and that's the concept of karma, right? Okay, that's really nice. Sojin, what did you think about this one?
Well, basically nearly the same thing as both two said, so I think you can skip that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So everything comes back. Yeah, so karma, the concept of karma, do you guys know what it is in Korean, everybody? 업보. Yeah, 업보. 인과응보? 그것도 비슷한 거야. 업보라는 건데. So it tells us that the actions, whatever you say or whatever actions that you take in your life, the results are going to come back to you eventually. Yeah. Maybe like within your lifetime, and then they believe in, rebirth over and over. Maybe it can come in the next lifetime. We don't really know. But then if you spread goodwill, we don't know how much time it will take, but it will eventually be brought back to you. If you do harm to other things, to the nature or to other people, then it's going to eventually harm you back. I think that works in the Eastern philosophy, because according to Eastern philosophy, everything in the nature is connected. Yeah, I think what?
Can I just share another thing after your time?
Oh, okay,
It's not
okay.
urgent.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah. So everything is connected. I think Western philosophy emphasizes the individuality, and then I think Eastern philosophy emphasizes the interconnectedness and then the unity of all beings. So karma works like this. Maybe like if I take an example, so let's say you did a very small good deed to a person. So in the morning, maybe like while going into a building, you held the door for someone who's after you, and then you said you smiled at the person. Then that the person's mood is going to be lifted, right, from the morning, and then he's gonna go into his office and he's in a good mood and he's a boss and supervisor and he encourages all of the coworkers, the people who are working at the office. Then everybody is going to be pumped up and they're motivated, and then they're going to have good results in the company, and while having the good results, the stock price is going to rise for that company. And it turns out that the person who held the door owned that stocks. And then he became rich, something like that. I mean, this is a lame example, but then if you think that everything is like connected, that way, whether it's like a small rock or whether it's a small plant or bush or a small insect, we have to be like respectful and careful, because that will eventually be brought back to us. So if we have this idea in mind, I think we can be in more harmony with people around us. I think we can have more peace. We can feel more harmony with our surroundings, I think. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yes, Haji, what was it?
There's like one of my friends who really like to talk back behind people. Like I told her multiple times not to, but she like keeps doing it. So when I don't know why that is a thing, whether it's a karma is a real thing or there's like a ghost following her around. Whenever she talks back, she always like gets punished in some way because when we were like talking together while walking, she was talking back to one of her friends. And she slipped off from the pedestrian walk and like the car almost hit her. And the other time, she was like talking back another friend of hers, and then like there was some boys in class who were like playing baseball with those rounded off papers. And tried to hit them, and they threw one of it, which hit her like head like straight as soon as she started like talking back.
Karma works on her somehow very immediately. Works very fast on her. That's really amazing. So, but I think when we have like love and when we have like positive feelings toward the people around us, we cannot like see it. There's no physical evidence for that, but then I think there's definitely like some kind of like positive energy, although we cannot see it. Yeah. So I think she just like radiated like negative energy around her. I mean, there's no scientific evidence for that. There's like no physical, existence for that. But because of that, I think she had all of these bad luck. Yeah. So I think if you guys want to invite good luck, I think there's a way of inviting good luck. I mean, the next book that we're gonna read, do you guys know what book?
Popular people something.
데일 카네기의 뭐였었지, 여러분? 인간관계론. 데일 카네기의 인간관계론.
In
Yeah.
English?
In English.
You have to be friends with popular people.
No. How to influence other people, something like that. I don't know the exact title. It's pretty long. And then
Understand it.
yeah, it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy. I read it last year. It was pretty
Is
good.
it easier than
How
this?
is it
Oh.
easier than
Yeah,
the
it's-
research for reading?
Yeah, it's definitely easier than this one. Yeah, this
Does
one is
it-
pretty difficult.
Does it have
Yeah.
any like some bad
Yeah.
stories.
No. It's full of positive and uplifting stories. Yeah. So if you guys want to invite good luck, try to spread, good energy and like pleasant feeling for other people. Then good luck is going to be invited to you. But then if you have this habit of like complaining, and then if you have the habit of like, as the girl who Sojin talked about, like bad mouthing people behind your back, if you have those negative habits, I think that kind of negative energy is going to be felt by the people around you, and then by the universe, by the nature. I sound very superstitious at this moment, but I believe in that. Yeah. So if you spread this positive energy, you are inviting good luck to your life, I think. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
I sounded like a shaman this time. Yeah.